What's good, Joe? Welcome to brand new comic reaction. This time we got the latest issue number 5 of House of X. Actually, we have a pretty small week. Actually, we just got Absolute Carnage, Lethal Protectors, and House of X for the one. So that's only 3, which was shocking. I was like, wait, only 3? Well, there's also the new Spider-Man comic done by J.J. Abrams and I believe his son. So I'm about 50-50 whether or not I'm gonna react to that one. I'm definitely gonna read because I'm curious what they got in store. But yeah. I'm actually not going to go through all of them today. I'm only going to go through House of X and Absolute Carnage right now because I got a couple of stuff from schoolwork that I got to get through today. I also got an exam for biology. So I'm going to get through these two just so I don't risk getting spoiled on Twitter. Get through both of those and then I'll do Lethal Protectors and maybe Spider-Man probably either tomorrow on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, and also apologies for how long those comic reactions for last week came out, guys. I've been having nothing but nonstop problem. I was recording them, but hey, they're finally out there, so yo. Okay, but yeah, let's just jump right in. Alright, House of X, number 5. We got Apocalypse on the cover. This is next page. Let's see what we got here, boys. Do you want to know the real difference between them and us? Till now, we were never given a chance. Professor X. Next page. Alright. See what we got here. See what we got. Hopefully I won't have problems this time, because I had some problems, because a lot of problems with the laptop last week. The camera was constantly freezing, pages weren't loading. Yeah, it was crazy, but hopefully this time will be better. Anyway, let's just jump right in. Krakoa. Humans. Is there any good in them? Well, Laura, it's important to remember that mankind didn't really take off as a species until hunting and gathering ended and they transformed themselves into an agrarian culture. They stopped moving around and said, this is a good place. It is fertile and ours. From this land we will not be moved. And that's the only good thing humans taught us. Society. Next page. Got that tree where we had the Cyclops coming out of. See it. We're really curious to this go because I got one more issue for House of X and 2 more for Powers of X. So we're almost in the end. I'm curious. I'm really interested to see where all this is gonna lead. Anyway, Charles and I always wonder what would happen if mutants stopped being hunted. If we didn't have to run anymore. Didn't have to hide. What would happen when, like with man, the greatest necessary traits in mutantdom were strength and aggressiveness, but intelligence, integrity, ingenuity, and creativity. And now we know. Here they come, Father. Yes, here they come. Oh, are these the new mutants? I don't recognize these guys. Next page. Is that Rogue right there in the back? I don't think it is because her hair is a little longer. Fabio Median had a seemingly big Benjamin jeez, I cannot speak today. And pointless power. He could make golden balls appear. Yeah, that is stupid. Until recently, the only thing we knew about them was that they were composed of biological matter, and that there was no upper limit on how many of these balls Fabio could generate. Then we discovered they were eggs. Oh. And after injecting them with preserved DNA which when combined with the touch of Prometheus, a little wrap of reality, those eggs became viable. And after injecting them with the preserved DNA of a mutant, Elixir, the life giver, would kickstart the process of cellular replication. After that, all our mutant embryos needed was time. After that, all our mutant embryo needed was time to mature. Next page. Okay, so they're pretty much cloning mutants essentially. All right, let's see what we got here. Time, the slave of Ava Bell. We learn creating life is delicate, almost impossible work. The truth is that on their own these mutants would be incapable of the intricate dance necessary to pull off these Promethean feats. But Hope is a great unifier. Her powers enable theirs to operate at both their peaks and in unison. Charles looking on. Separate, yes, they are great mutants, but only significant, not transcendent. Together, however. Next page. Come on. Alright, there we go. Alright. Come on. Together, these 5 mutants have made us whole. Ah. Alright, now we're just reusing the same panels and shots from the first issue. But now we have the context. Okay, I'm assuming that's Jean right there and that one's Cyclops. Yeah, they just don't have the text anymore. So which one? So that one's Cyclops. Let's see if I can recognize. Yeah, I can't recognize them. Yeah, I can't recognize the rest of them. To me, my X-Men. Next page. So they pretty much clone Cyclops, Jean, and a few others. Here's what I don't get, Father. Isn't it just their bodies temporarily evolved to their desired age, perhaps even to their optimal and perfected form? But it's not them, is it? It's just a shell. What? All this time, everyone has misunderstood what Cerebro really was. Yes, with it, Charles could locate any mutant in the world. Okay, give the man back his spot before he blows someone's head off. But that eventually became the secondary function of the machine. The first was copying the mind, the essence, the anima of any mutant Xavier found. So he could one day put a soul back into its mutant shell. Oh, so that's what that new Cerebro he's wearing is used for. He clones their body through those embryos. Then he uses Cerebro, this new Cerebro, to give them back their minds. So it's essentially like they never left. All right. There you are, my boy. Even knowing I could bring you back, a part of me dies when any of you do. So let's not do that again, shall we? Is he talking about what happened in, like, Avengers vs. X-Men or something? Did it work? It did. You succeeded. Your sacrifice was not in vain. It was a gift, and in the giving you saved it. And in the giving you saved us all. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Thank all of you. Oh, it's everyone that died. So, wait. Okay, so this is happening right when the first issue begun. So, was issue 5 or like 3 to like 3? It was like 3 to 5, I think. Wait, which one? No, this one's 5. 3 to 4 was before the events of this, and parts of issue 1 were before all this. Well, okay. No. The stuff with Cyclops was with the Fantastic Four and everything. That's probably how it'll happen later. But what happened in issue 3 and 4, when they were actually, went to go take care of that to the Nimrod. Was that before this? And maybe no. So was this like the 11th reality? Because we said what was her name? Mentioned that Mori had that she saw 11 lives from Moria. We've seen about 10 of them, minus 6. So could this be the 11th one, or is this the 6th one? Who knows? Let's keep going and find out. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, all of you. Okay, we got Nightcrawler, Mystique, Cyclops, Wolverine. I believe that's Jean, Archangel. And I don't recognize the other ones. On your feet, mutants. The world is not ready for the likes of your return, but Krakoa is waiting. Next page. Alright, credits page. Next page. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's see. Brothers and sisters, Krakoa! Oh, wait, hold on. My bad. Brothers and sisters of Krakoa! A great thing has happened today. A miracle made possible by mutant hands. The great work of the Five. Love them, for they have right the wrongs of man and defeat our great enemy, death. Oh, okay, these are the new beings. Next page. Nobody thought to give them clothes. They're like, yeah, just go up there with your dicks hanging out. Fuck it. By the power that is their birthright, the Five have returned these mutants thought lost to us, their families, and to their place, and to this place, their home. I see them. Do you? They hurt me. I like the placement of Nightcrawler's tail. I cover up. You get some Logan ass though. Seriously though, did nobody think to get them close? We see them. Oh, I bet you do. But do we know them? Next page. Storm looking. I'm behind her, I think. What is your name? Cyclops, Scott Summers. And how do I know you? And how do I know it's you, brother? Once I thought I was strong, a leader of mutants, and then you showed me what strong was. I learned it watching you. This is my brother. I know him, and as do you. Yes, his name is Cyclops, but he is more than that. What is he? Mutant! What is your name? Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, for the love. Somebody get Jean a new costume and a new code name, please. Like, I mean, I understand you don't want to call her Phoenix, for obvious reasons, but can't you at least come up with something better than Marvel Girl? I mean, that outfit should have died, and that name should have died in the 70s. But maybe it'll grow on me. I still think I still think she needs a new suit. Seriously, you can't just give her like the one she was rocking in the 90s, like the X-Men cartoon. Literally anything is better than that costume. Anyway. And how do I know it's you, Jean? Oh, I'm the only me that ever was. I still keep forgetting how to pronounce her name. Next page. This is my sister. I know her. As do you. Yes, her name is Jean Grey, but she is more than that. What is she? Mutant! What is your name? Penancins. Monette Saint Crozy? I have no idea. I probably butchered that. And how do I know it's you, child? No touching. It's Stormblast. This is my sister. I know her. As do. Yes, her name is Monette, but she is more than that. What is she? Mutant! Next page. Alright, wait, hold on. Okay. I skipped the page. My God. I should be happy watching this. I should be weeping with joy, but over the years man has killed millions of us, and so many remain lost. But this is the good work, Eric. And it must continue until Genosha is spoken of not as a grave. but as a crucible. The work will continue until it is done. It is fundamental. It's foundational. It is foundational everything. They should have killed us all when they had the chance. Is my man Charles smirking? I think he kind of is. I can't really tell. When does the UN vote? Tomorrow. The Security Council meets in the morning, and if none of the preeminent members vote against us, there will be an expended General Assembly vote tomorrow afternoon. Are you worried? Next page. Not today. Today I am filled with nothing but hope. This is my brother, I know him, as do you. His name is Nightcrawler. Or Cold-Blooded. But he is more than that. What is he? Mutant! Wait, is that Colossus right there? Hold up. Yo, was that actually Colossus right there? Is that the thing? Mutants all. And it was thought their deaths was a great victory, was won for our people. The first victory of many. See them for what they are, heroes of Krakoa. They're being worshipped like gods. Next page. Oh great, reading. Oh, this is actually. Okay. Resurrection. The genetic base. Mr. Sinister has an extensive I cannot speak today, of mutant genetic materials that has carefully assembled in recent years. In it, he has the DNA of almost every known mutant on the planet Earth, carefully constructed with the help of Xavier. These are the biological building blocks of each specific mutant, their physical makeup along with what their powers is. Without this, we have nothing. Note this library, which began as solely biological samples, has been converted into a holographic sequencing, while all current mutant modifications have been limited to optimal aging, it is believed that in the future, designer modifications will be possible. The host. In the process of mutant resurrection, the genetic base is introduced into organic matter, and a mutant husk is created. And while this is not the essence of who or what a mutant is, it is the essential compound that makes mutant resurrection possible. As traditional cloning procedures capable of creating a replicant shell grow in real time, any product temporal growth is God damn it, I cannot. Why am I struggling to say words today? Jeez. Succumbable, Jesus Christ, to change agents / variations. Christ. The process of the mutant resurrection. A group of 5 mutants work in conjunction to produce a biological husk. They are Fabio, Mendia, Goldballs, mutant capable of producing a limitless amount of unviable biological eggs. Kevin McTaggart, Prometheus, a mutant capable of warping reality and transforming an unviable egg into a viable one. Joshua Fly? Elixir, A mutant capable of biologically kickstarting the process of life, initializing cell reproduction and husk growth. Ava Bell Tempest. A mutant capable of temporarily maturing a husk to a desirable age. Hope Summers. Hope. A mutant capable of enhancing and synergizing the other resurrection mutants' powers to ensure the success of each resurrection. Next page. Okay. So this is these like order of events how they managed to do it. Greg Moore. Resurrection. Note, while it has not yet been tested, it is believed that upgrades, extensions, stand-ins could be assessed by mutants such as Psyche or Mimic. Note the Proteus problem, where the power of the mutant are directly associated with the destruction of its own body and are the direct cause of all psychological and physiological and psychological deviance over the years. Has been solved by always having the backup mutant husk prepared for Proteus to inhabit when he burns out of his old one. Depending on the frequency with which he is using his power, a Proteus body normally lasts 1 week, but it can last as little as 1 day during the periods of excessive power use. Proteus backup mutant husk is always created from the genetic base of Charles Xavier. Oh, interesting. The mind. A backup of every mutant mind on the planet exists. Once a week, Charles Xavier copies the latest versions of every mutant. So it's like a system out. You gotta update the software. He has to update it. Copies the latest versions of every mutant mind to multiple residence cradles located in several locations across the world. These backups are the essence of each mutant. How they think, how they feel, their memories, their very being. When a mutant husk is ready, Charles Xavier injects their backup of who they are into their husk, and that mutant is reborn. Note, there has been no experimentation regarding what happens when you combine a mutant mind with a husk that's not their own. Next page. Alright. Is the rest of the issue just all this exposition? Resurrection scale. Initially, the resurrection capabilities of Krakoa topped out at around 1,000 mutants a week, around 200 a day. The current estimated mutant population on Earth is around 100,000 and growing. The depowered population of mutants on Earth is just under 1 million, and the deceased population of mutants on Earth is over 16 million, primarily from Genosha. At the rate of resurrection, it would take around 300 years to bring back everyone who died, let alone how to address the development of the depowered mutants and any that might die in the intermediate time period. However, as the resurrection machine has become more unified and better at being what they are and doing what they want, it's estimated that capabilities could possibly reach around 30,000 a week, and full Genosha resurrection be achieved in 10 years. The complication here is that Xavier would have to download and resurrect 6,000 mutants, 6,000 minds a day, which he is not capable of. By the time there was a need to be a workaround or a team of telepaths trained to properly use Cerebro. Note, extensive testing has shown that the mutant resurrection machine, the 5, is not operating under duress or fatigue or even massive extraction. It appears that the more they do this, the stronger they become, and the easier the process becomes. The experience has been described by all five as incredibly blissful, not in a narcotized kind of way, but in a manner of more akin to total fulfillment. Additionally, these five mutants appear to have become an inseparable family unit and are almost never apart from one another. Their symbiotic process appears to have extended beyond the union of their powers and to the mutants themselves. Some of this could be psychological. Yeah, as on Krakoa, they are universally revered, not as celebrities, something achievable through work, but as cultural paragons, something sacred to be treasured. Resurrection protocol. Currently, mutant resurrection takes around 48 hours, a 12-hour gestation period for the DNA samples to take in an egg, and 30 to 42 hours to mature the egg to its desirable maturation. However, because of fear regarding duplication and other general questions of morality, unless an actual death has been documented, someone believed to be dead cannot be resurrected until their death has been confirmed, or they have been undetectable by Cerebro for a month. Notice it is expected that sooner rather than later a mutant organization will be tasked with investigating mutant missing persons and suspect deaths and murders, as to confirm when the resurrection process should begin. Note it is also expected that should force conventions become necessary, their special mandate would supersede normal resurrection protocols. Next page. There we go. Alright, you win. The next day. You're loving this, aren't you? Then again, what's not to love? Congratulations, Charles. You won yourself a nation. Charles, you go out in public with that thing on? I get it when you're in Krakoa, but when you're out in public, why you still got Cerebro on your head, man? Take that thing off! Yes, hello there, I'm Charles Xavier. Don't mind this giant helmet on my head! It's our nation, Miss Frost. Do I suspect in no small measure to you? Why, whatever do you mean, Charles? I got the sense that the Security Council wasn't going to support us today. More than a sense, really. The French ambassador all but told me the Russian ambassador would be voting against us. Imagine my surprise when she abstinated. Next page. Got my man Beast. I wouldn't be too surprised. I found most humans to be impressionable. Yeah, impressionable. Yeah. People change their minds all the time. Who knows? The ambassador could have had a crisis of conscience. Conscience? Wizards? A little humanity to get with her excesses of humanity. Oh man, Charles is actually looking pretty good. He looks good in this suit, if I do say so myself. Compulsion leaves an indelible mark on the victim, Emma. It also affects the one perpetuating the act, dominating the will of another. You see, often comes with a cost. Are you accusing me of something, Charles? I just wanted you to know that I know, and a grateful nation thanks you for your sacrifice. What is he talking about? You're welcome. Now buy me something pretty, or I don't know, make me a governor of a province. To the first, what do you get? To the first, what do you get? The woman who can already buy anything she wants. As to the second, you already know I have much bolder things in mind. Ooh. Next page. What do you got in store, Charles? Oh, god damn it! More text. I mean, this is interesting, but it just gets tiring. All right, mutant diplomacy. Jesus. All current mutant diplomacy and the future security and sovereignty of Krakoa is dependent on relationships with human nations, centering on their need for mutant pharmaceuticals and the Krakoan ability to meet them. More than 100 nations have accepted a trade deal with Krakoa, and while negotiations are ongoing with most of the world's remaining nations, some have rejected Krakoa's overtures. Nations that have rejected a trade treaty with Krakoa are considered to be nations are considered to be a natural adversary. Adversarial. A list of those nations is as follows: Asia, Iran, Madaripur, North Korea. Figures. Reasons for rejection: ideological, political, ideological. Europe, Lavaria. Figures. Russia. Figures. Political. South America, Brazil. Political, Santo Marco. Ideological. Terra Verde. Ideological. Venezuela. Political, Central Americas. Honduras. Political, Africa. Wakanda. They do not need mutant drugs. Yeah, they got vibranium. They don't need it. That's interesting, actually. Wakanda. Azunana. Wakandan economy protectorate. Kanana. Wakanda economical protectorate. And Kenya, same reason. Next page. Mutant diplomacy map. What's the red? Is the red the nations that I'm assuming that's the nations that have not gone with that have joined that inside the trade route or trade. Okay. Next page. Okay. 2 days later, Krakoa. Sure about this? It's not too late to change your mind. An opportunity to change is exactly what I am offering, Wolverine. Chuck, I've got to tell you, when you talk like that, I kind of want to beat you to death. Some people are beyond saving. If that was true, if that were true, what would you be here? Would I? Incoming, Professor. There are so many of them. 20 in the first wave. Too many to count. Following that, Sage asks Krakoa to turn the throttle off and just keep the gate open. Next page. What's going on here? We got another. The Sentinels coming back again. Oh. We got Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister and his guys. I don't recognize any of these. I do not recognize any of these mutants. Krakoa and motherfucking Apocalypse. Hey, next page. Come on. There we go. Yes, I know. It's been too long. As doves circle them. Making yourself a little too comfortable, aren't you, pal? Is that comfortable is a inadequate word, but yes, I am comfortable. Krakoa knows me, and I know, and I knows me, and I, Krakoa. Is that so? It is. I fought a war here before the world had any idea there was such a thing as mutants. then this is fitting, for we have fought for something as well, and gained it. I want to be clear here, Apocalypse. We will not risk losing this place because some of you might not value what is being offered. So, is that going to be a problem? And why would it? Why would it be, Wolverine? Next page. For centuries, I have fostered war and conflict, all in the hopes for mutantdom finally asserting dominance over the world. Now, look at you. Look at all of you. You have finally become what I intended you to be. I could not be more proud. We need to hear the words. We submit to the laws of this land, but what they may, and acknowledge that from this day forward, we all serve a higher purpose than want or need. One people from this day forward. Very well. Then let it be known, let the word spread, Krakoa is for all mutants. Next page. Welcome home. Oh shit. We got Charles and Apocalypse shaking hands. If you are us, then be with us. Come home. Magneto. Next page. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's everything. Yep. So, this issue... Wait, what's next, actually? Power Specs, okay. So, this issue was amazing. We got a lot of answers in this one. We still have no idea how Charles is walking. We still got 2 more issues left. Wait. No, 4. No, 3. Powers of X issue 5 and then issue 6 for House of X Power 6. So, I honestly at this point I don't even think we will ever get the reason how Charles is still walking. But, whatever the case may be. This issue was fucking fantastic. As well, we got a lot of answers. We know how we found out how they managed to resurrect the guys. So, it looks like this is still the 10th timeline. Looks like it, and now we got a little bit of background information on what actually happened. So, interesting. And that would explain why Cyclops like, yeah, you know, in the first issue, because even though he has his mind back, it doesn't feel like completely there. Apparently, I'm not sure, but whatever the case may be, this issue was amazing. So overall, I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10, guys. You know what? On second thought, I'm gonna give it for that last page with Apocalypse and Charles shaking at me. That's some powerful shit. Now, Brett, it probably won't last very long. This is Apocalypse we're talking about. He'll probably turn bad later on, but I'm sure this is probably going to lead on why he is with Rogue and Betsy and Gambit with an Excalibur. This is probably going to lead to why Apocalypse is working with those guys. But so it's probably not going to last long. But fuck it, Charles and Apocalypse working together, man, that's some hype shit. So yeah, I'm gonna give this issue a 10 out of 10, man. Like, that's some powerful shelf. Like, yeah, now that's a page I would hang up and put on my fucking wall. So yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.